Yo, what's going on, guys? This week on Bottom of the Bill, we have Aaron Thomas, the frontman of Be Easy. It was great having Aaron on. He's got his own music that he's working on right now in the studio. He's planning on releasing it hopefully later this year. We don't want to say for sure yet because we don't actually know. But the conversation, we talked a lot about the writing process for this new music and how connected he is to it. And you know, it was like things have been kind of trending lately. We got pretty vulnerable, and also had just a fun, light conversation times as well. So enjoy the episode, check it out. But before we get there, we just want to let you know that we do have merchandise for sale. The link is in the description below. And as always, please like, share, subscribe. If you're enjoying what we're doing here, if you're getting something out of it, or you think what we're doing is valuable in some way, please share it with your friends and anybody who might be interested. Help us get the word out for all the artists that are appearing here, and for the larger ones too, and everybody. It grows the whole scene. So whatever we can do. Without further ado, here's Aaron Thomas.
This is Bottom of the Bill.
All right, welcome to Bottom of the Bill, everybody. We got Aaron Thomas in today. How you doing, man?
Not too bad, brother. I'm hanging in there.
It's good to see you, man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks
Likewise.
for being here.
I was saying to Chris when I walked in that it's been a while that I've seen the show, but I definitely keep up to date, and I was a little upset when Solo got on here before me.
Yeah, but we know why that happened, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So make sure that when you are looking into your Facebook messages, like there's a little box somewhere that says, what is it? I don't even remember what it says. It's like others or something.
Oh yeah.
It's just like when you're not following somebody and they you know, whatever, or not friends with someone, then the message goes to some random file within the messenger.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you never see them, or like even if you do see them and like you don't open it right away, it gets hidden somehow. It's like weird shit.
Bro, 6 months later, damn near.
Yeah. And now we're here.
I texted Chris. I was like, yo, my bad, dude.
I was like, we still got room for you, bro.
It's like, please just fill me in.
Roll an invite.
Well, if that's not a microcosm of how the music industry works, right? It's fucking let's talk about something, and maybe 6 months later we'll get some traction on making it happen.
No shit. Yeah. Musicians.
You just got back from Puerto Rico.
Yes, I did. It was beautiful, dude.
Yeah. You're there for work or for play?
Just for play.
Yeah.
Just a quick little 4 or 5 days. Dude, beautiful. I ate so much food. So I was there with my wife, my wife's cousin, her husband, Vinny. It's a really good buddy of mine. Our friend Katie and Ariel, who we had just met for the first time. She was nice. But it was just like, my wife and I, we just needed a little break.
Yeah, man.
Never been to Puerto Rico. I think she said she had been, but dude, all I wanted to do was eat rice and beans.
Well, it's very easy to do that there.
I went to like 6 different places, and like I about gave an award to someone at one point. Like,
really?
Yeah, dude.
What was the place?
Ohana. Amazing, dude.
Okay.
We were in Kimoy. I don't remember how you say it, but right outside of Old San Juan.
Okay.
Dude, the waters. We had this crazy big place. Like, I don't even know why we needed a place that big, but it was worth it.
I mean, it makes the experience better when you have a nice place to come back to.
Oh
right?
My gosh, man.
Especially if you're out like doing shit all day and then you're exhausted, and just having like a nice big space sometimes is like the way to go.
Right.
It must be. Sometimes it's also hard to leave the space. Did you find that at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we went on some pretty decent hikes and things, but yeah, it was definitely hard to leave that space. I mean, the view is just incredible. I still haven't even posted any pictures. I'm not really big on that either, though. Like,
I feel
just taking the moment right then,
It's also the cell phones never capture like what it is you're actually seeing.
Right.
Like these beautiful landscapes and these mountains, with the contrast against the water, and you're just like, this is amazing. And then you take out your phone and it makes it look like a fucking Legoland or something.
Right.
Like, this is not interesting at all to look at through a phone.
The only thing I guess I would say that went, I wouldn't say terrible, but it was just like kind of awkward. Everywhere I go, if it's in a Latino community, Spanish or whatever, they think that I speak Spanish. Or
You look like you could be like
Yeah.
Puerto Rican or Dominican or something,
Yeah.
you know?
But I have to just tell them no. I'm just black. And my mom's white, my dad's black. That's it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like nothing else in there.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like when they look at me and they start, speaking to me, I'm like, I swear to God, it's like the look that they give me instantly is just like, shame on you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not?
Yeah. I know.
Like, you look like my grandson, kid. Like,
Yeah.
I had to do, there was the funniest shit. I was at a Walmart. And first off, in Puerto Rico, I didn't know that you weren't supposed to. You basically take all your groceries, like boxes, whatever you get, random produce. They don't have bags. They don't like the bags there, plastic bags. So they'll have you like put it in the cart, and then you have to buy bags separately. So we didn't know this. I didn't know this. So I tell my wife, I'm like, you see all those bags over there? Go grab those. We'll put all those in there. So this one lady just comes and takes all the bags away and takes the stuff out of the bags that we already put in and puts it in our cart. And we're like, that was fucking rude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? So I grab the bags again, start putting stuff in there. And she starts speaking, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. So my buddy Vinny, everywhere he would go, he'd be my translator. And he's not even the best, but he's been learning for like the last 3 years, and he's really, really good at it. But they would look to me first to start asking any questions or just talking, shooting the shit or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I have no idea what's going on, man.
Yeah, I totally get it though. You look like you could be like Latin of some
All
kind.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Latin.
Yeah, but the importance of taking trips like that, man, like reset and recalibrate. I know that musicians, we can travel a lot and do different things, but like, you've got a family and stuff. So to be able to do that is like for the sake of having a vacation to like recalibrate. Do you feel like you come back feeling refreshed or like more creative?
Sometimes, yeah. It just depends on how much you have to do when you come back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Certainly.
Like for me, I wanted to knock out as much of like the business side of things, scheduling and all that stuff before I left. And then that way when I come back, it's just, you're back to the shows, back to the music, whatever. Like I didn't really, the summers for us is a little slow anyway, for me. And I kind of did that on purpose last couple years because of that, because it's just like, for what we do a lot of events and things. There's not much in Jacksonville, like as far as, like weddings and stuff. No one's trying to have a wedding in the middle of freaking June.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, it's disgusting outside.
Yeah, so we kind of slow things down on purpose to where I'm able to take some time with the fam and things. But when you come back and there's like a shit ton of stuff that you have to do, it's hit or miss.
Yeah, sometimes that break can kind of get you into this resting state.
Yeah.
And then when you come back, you're like not ready to get back to work.
Right.
Yeah, I get that. Before you got here, what were you gonna say, Chris?
Oh, nothing. I just say you say that, but you're at your second studio session of the day.
Yeah.
So like
That's what I was just gonna bring up.
real chill.
You've been at it, man. I've been at it. So, yeah, I'm working on my very first solo project.
Okay.
So, with a very awesome collective group of musicians, man. It's separate from Be Easy. So, Be Easy's, we've been doing a lot of, the corporate stuff and a lot of shows and stuff. And I haven't really had a chance to like really put my full attention and focus on my original project. So, got some cool cats in this group, man, that are helping me out.
Who are you playing with?
So right now I have Eric Ibarra is on bass. Eric?
I don't think so.
Solid cat.
Bad boy.
Yeah.
Man's a beast.
Yeah.
Jonah Pierre is helping me out.
Yep.
That man's incredible. So he'll be playing some keys, auxiliary and stuff. I mean, I can ask that man to do anything, honestly. I have the horns, got Rob Bidwell, Darren Esgard, Jaron Walker will be on the mix.
Hell yeah.
Rob Lee plays trombone. The man plays all kind of horns and stuff too. So on drums, we have Terrell Johnson.
Oh yeah, Terrell's amazing. He was on the podcast
Really?
Last year. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool cat, man. And Elon.
Oh yeah.
Playing guitar.
He'll be playing. So we've been doing some rehearsals the last. We had one rehearsal, which was like a couple weeks ago, right before I left to Puerto Rico. It's just kind of feel things out and figure out, like where this is going to take us.
Yeah.
The music that I'm going for, I've written I write all my music just on acoustic, right? And then I'll send it to whoever, and we kind of build from there. But it's very, very soulful, like groovy, little rock and roll, man. I love some rock and roll. I want to be able to belt some stuff,
Hell yeah.
If I had to compare to anything, it'd be more like Black Pumas.
Okay. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I love that kind of shit, man.
I'm stoked.
Do you have any like plans for releasing, or are you just kind of recording right now?
So we're just recording right now. Yeah, I was just at NFS talking to Leroy, Ryan Leroy's. That man's a genius, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that man's a genius. Talking about scheduling, man, getting it all in order. Man hyped me up today. I was on my way here listening to some stuff. I'm like, holy shit, let's do this,
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, and it's just, I've been playing other people's music for so damn long.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and then just staying behind the scenes and not really releasing any of my stuff. And I've written thousands of songs, man. And I have so many songs with Be Easy, with other bands, with other people that just never really did anything. I never did anything with them, really. Just kind of left them on the back burner. Or actually, I'd finish them, but I'd leave them in a vault, I'd say, just waiting for the right time. And then I found out, like, there's no right time. You know what I mean? Just, it was all me. Just get out of your head.
It always is, man. It's like,
do the shit,
It always is. I was talking to somebody the other day about that, about just like, they were talking about waiting for something to happen, just like the right culmination of people, and then the obstacles will just somehow be removed. I'm like, no, man. I've released 3 EPs since I've been in Jacksonville, and I can tell you that every single one had their own set of problems, and every single one got harder and harder to release. Because the bigger scale you try and do something, the more shit starts to come up.
Yeah.
And then if I just sat there and was like, oh, well, I'll just wait for, 6 months down the line, there won't be as much happening, or there won't be any obstacles. It's like, nope, it's always hard.
Right. I'm the worst at that because I'm constantly in my head, bro. Like I'll sit there and I'll finish a song, and then I'll probably listen to it 100 times. And just like critique myself, want to change some shit, but no one else will hear it, but me. And so then I'll just be like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do anything with the song or whatever. Larcel?
Yep.
Larcel and I, we've done so many songs. And shout out to my boy Larcel for this. He's gonna laugh his ass off when he hears this. But he and I have worked, and we work so well together. On the writing, like when we get into a studio together, it's just like instantly, right? We don't need, we'll have the music, we'll come up with something on the fly. I'll write up something and send it to him. But when we get into the studio, it's like instant. We'll write the song and all that. So for years, I've been going through this whole weird transition of genres and what I want to do personally. And so, every time that Larcel and I would get together, it would be more I wouldn't say mainstream, but like hip hop, R&B, pop kind of stuff, right? And that's what I was doing for a long time. And I could do it, I love it, but I don't love it. You know what I'm saying?
I get you, yeah.
And so we're listening to the songs and we're doing it and everything. And like 2 days later, I'll hit him back and I'll be like, man, no. That's all I'll say. Man, why don't we let's work on a different one, bro? And it's just, for me, I came up around, I grew up around Motown and classic rock and a little bit of country in the mix, I am mixed. So I have,
you got it all.
Yeah, I got a little bit of all that in there. My dad was my dad was a drummer in a band for a long time. Actually, so just kind of sidetrack here. My dad's family, super talented, right? My grandfather on my dad's side tried to start, like I always tell people, he tried to start like a Jackson 5, but for like a gospel band, right?
Okay.
So my uncle sang, all of my aunts and uncles were musicians and singers and stuff in church and stuff. And my mom can sing too. She's probably gonna see this shit and talk shit about me too, and leaving her out. But she can sing a little bit too. But being around that live feel, right? I would go to rehearsals and stuff and hear that. That's what I wanted to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So going back to the Larcel thing, we're in the studio. It's like the electronic shit, synth shit, and all this, 808s and all that. And I'm like, I love it. I can, I get down. This is what I came up on too. Just the same. When I got older, I was bumping goddamn Snoop Dogg in the damn, Jeep Cherokee, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
It's just can't do it. So when I just realized this, like within the last 2 months, that the route that I'm going to go is the route that I feel is best for me, right?
Yeah.
And it's that organic, natural feel. Everyone's playing an instrument. Everyone's bringing their own story to tell. You know what I mean? Within the same music. So it's Larcel always gets on to me because he's always just like, do what you feel like you need to do, or like, just stick through with it, And I know that man has probably 100 songs of mine right now that no one else has heard, that like I bet they could do, like it could go somewhere. I mean, they could do something with it. They're finished. They sound fucking awesome, I think, still. But it's just like I don't want them.
All right, guys, this episode's brought to you by Best Buds CBD Store. If you're like me, maybe THC isn't always the right high for you, or maybe the legal status of THC has you a bit hesitant to indulge. So at Best Buds CBD Store, they have an array of CBD and Delta 8 THC products. These guys truly care about their service, so everything is meticulously sourced and prepared to deliver a top-notch product and experience. If you head to their website, you'll find all kinds of educational information regarding Delta THC and CBD. Not to mention, if you use promo code BotBPod, that's BOTB pod, you'll save 10% on your order. This is not a one-time deal. If you use promo code BotBPod, every time you place an order with Best Buds, it will give you 10% off. That's in perpetuity, forever. So head over to bestbudscbdstore.com and start saving on all of your CBD and Delta 8 products. Enjoy, guys.
Is it like stylistically you don't like it, or you don't connect with it, or do you think that maybe the way that they turned out wasn't what you wanted, but you still see the potential in them?
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I mean, stylistically, it's just not. I guess in the songs I'm talking about stuff that I'm not really like. I guess a lot of flashy stuff, whatever, and maybe not. But it's just also just where the music's turning into today as well. Looking back at those songs, I'm like, maybe those don't fit right now.
Right.
Like they may have done even 5 years ago, or supposed to, or maybe even longer than that. But that's where I get stuck in my head. The stuff that I'm coming up with now is just, I feel like it's just timeless, right? Because anyone could listen to this song, and be like, I relate to that. It's just talking about, just everyday life issues or solutions, or bright sunny days, whatever. It's just everybody can relate to those kind of things.
Right. I'm curious, like something that I just thought about as you were saying that, like when we deem things as timeless,
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like I think that's a trait of music that's played with like instruments versus music that's like highly produced, because when you're producing it, a lot of this, like, you're kind of limited to what the technology of the time is.
Yep.
And what people have been kind of testing and approve of in that current market. But then with instruments, it's like, well, instruments have been played forever.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what kind of music it is. Like even today, there's still bands out there that are doing very well, that are not utilizing maybe the technology in the same way that you would hear in hip hop or in like modern R&B and stuff, but like like Black Pumas is a great example, or like Alabama Shakes and like bands like that are still so raw. What they're talking about is not only timeless, but also the instrumentation, the setup is just it doesn't get much more authentic than that.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
So is that and that's the vibe you're trying to go for
And I
now?
think you kind of hit it on the head with, you know, it being this feeling more timeless for me. You know what I mean? Or the music itself. And yeah, that's the route I'm going, man. It just feels way better, dude. And
Yeah.
it's just for me, I've always, you know, I've always had people come up to me and saying, "Oh, you sound like Michael Jackson," and all this. I was like, "Yeah, well, that was 10 years ago, bro, and I can't hit those high notes like I used to." You know what I mean? Like that shit. Like that's. I'm surprised I just did that just now.
Yeah.
Like, there are times where I'll walk around and I'll just want to hit that one note because it's so familiar to people. But then when I realize, like, at the show and I'm about to do it, I'll turn around and look at the boys. I'm like, "Hey, next song, bro. Like, can't do this anymore," you know?
Yeah.
And it's really fun for me to write my own music that is similar to this vintage style soul, you know, like that old school feel, man. It's just, I think that's more me than trying to come up with the times, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like people say, what do they say? You got to move with the times or whatever and all that. I'm just like, man, I'm gonna hang back here for a minute because this shit's getting wild out anyway. Like,
Yeah, I mean, and you know,
you know?
yeah, man, and it's like we talk about this a lot in the podcast about like what actually works. I think with artists is just being authentic.
Right.
You know, it's not necessarily like if you try and keep up with the trends, then you're going to also fall with the trends.
Right.
People become to know you for that thing. Whereas if you just stay true to what it is you're trying to do, it not only will, you know, not only is it intrinsically timeless, but it's also people like they're not dumb.
Right.
They know when you're not authentic, when you're trying to sell them something that they're not like buying. They know it.
Right.
You know, so I think just like feeling connected to what you're putting out, like people are also going to feel that connection.
Right. And I think that had a little bit to do with the music that like Larcel and I'm not knocking any of it because I still think it's great shit. And I've actually talked to him about like, hey, you want to take some of these songs? Because some of the stuff that he's doing right now is like, I can get down with that for sure. I can listen to it, but it's just for me, I felt like I was almost trying to, you know, be this R&B sensation kind of thing that you hear like on the radio. I don't know. I just wasn't. I felt like it was being fake.
Yeah,
Fuck it. I'll just say it. Like I felt like it was just like nah, I can't do that. You know.
I feel you.
And for me, the soft and sensual, you know, kind of tones that you have to have for a lot of R&B music. I was just like, man, I want to like just somebody throw an electric guitar in the mix real quick.
Yeah.
let's throw some grunge in there or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's I don't know. It's just I guess it's just what I came up on, man. And being able to just, you know, just rock the fuck out during a song is just, it feels good to be able to just yell some shit sometimes. You know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So. I think that's the route. I mean, it is the route we're going, and I'm excited because the guys that are in this project I'm working on right now, the vibes are totally there. Everybody is, you know, just happy to be there, just happy to create, you know. And it's just like, for a long time, I was looking to be in a room where it was just like just about the creation, you know. Not about everything else that's going around us, you know. And it feels really nice right now, man. Yeah.
Are you working with like anybody for production, or do you have any kind of like help to, you know, when especially when it comes time to release all this stuff?
Yeah. So Nico and them are gonna help with, you know, because real time. Kudos to those boys.
Yeah.
They've been helping me tremendously throughout this whole process with the original thing through Be Easy. Nico and I are freaking damn near business partners at this point, you know. And Chris, I mean, that man has seen me, and Chris Anderson, he has seen me in so many different versions of myself at certain shows, and there's certain shows that we have to do certain, music for and things. And he's got such a great ear, and he knows instantly like we played this, I played a couple songs for him, original stuff. And then he also helped me. I did a segment for River City Live that I did an original tune for that as well. And when he heard it, he was just like, dude, yes, like that's where you need to go with this. So like the marketing thing, that they're going to help me out with that. And as far as production, man, I got NFS, they're going to be helping me out. I got Kenny Helmsley, who's going to be in the mix. That's a whew.
Is he arranging horns and stuff for you?
Yeah. I mean, we've only talked about it a little bit, so he's probably going to see this and be like, oh, so I am. Okay, sweet. But yeah, you are, Kenny. You are the man on that. And so right now, that's all we have at this point. But I trust everybody that's in this circle right now, man. Dude, it's been a process, and it's been exciting. And something like I haven't been able to feel in a while, just because we do so much, all these other gigs that we do. It just takes time away from all the creative, just the art that you want to bring to the table.
Yeah, man, it's 100% true. But when you're on the gig and stuff, and then you come home, and then you're gigging however X amount of nights a week, and then when you're not on the gig, sometimes like you're not really feeling inspired. But I do think that there are times where there's like life events that happen, or things that kind of shift us into like moments of clarity, and then you can really like that signal's clear, and you start to receive like that inspiration.
Yeah.
Is that kind of where you're finding yourself now?
Yeah, it's just trying to manage yourself and realize what's good and what's not for you. At the end of the day, you're going to run into some trouble, right? You're going to have some issues, but it's just how long are you going to sit there and dwell about it? And how long are you going to sit there and, be concerned about what the future is going to hold for you? And I was one person to be in my head all the time about shit like that. A little bit of it had to do with me I stopped drinking a little bit because of that. And I was drinking a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it is when you go to shows and you have people throwing tequila shots at you,
Totally.
It was fun. I didn't do anything too crazy or too bad. I'm still married. My wife still loves me. I hope. But it was just causing just so much stress, because then you're realizing the next day after you're hungover how much work you need to get done, and you're not getting it done because you're just wasting your time,
Recovering.
Yeah.
This is something that I like to dive into and I hate to be that person that that's found clarity that now needs everybody else to know about it. But it sounds like you and I have made similar choices as of at least recently, and I've also quit drinking and just everything. And there is this clarity that comes with that I don't think that you realize it until you go through the process, where you're like, oh, I'm not somebody who's unmotivated.
Right.
I'm not somebody who doesn't see the purpose in things.
Right.
I have, for the last decade of my life, been intoxicated.
Yeah.
Like legit, you wake up hungover, and then even on days where you don't drink, which for me was few and far between,
Right.
You're waking up dehydrated. You're just living your life dehydrated.
Right.
And you have no motivation to do anything.
Not at all.
And then you quit drinking, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I am all of these things. I am creative. I am like motivated. I am this. I am that. And it's been like this life-changing reality. I practice every day, like almost every day now. You know what I mean? It's all this shit that just like you rediscover yourself. I feel like.
I thought I was slowly killing myself,
Right.
You know? And I'll say this: I haven't completely I haven't given it because I just had so many damn different rum drinks in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Just had.
Yeah.
It was great. It was like a refreshing thing. Okay, I'm gonna have some drinks and it's fun again, right?
Right.
But when you're drinking just to not think about shit,
Yeah.
you know, and get
get
through
through
a
that
show
gig. Yeah,
and stuff like that, like then you're constantly doing it over and over, and you're just like, wait a minute. And for me, you know, being married, having 2 kids, you know, I'd wake up the next morning, my son's like just pounding on, you know, pans and just like, Daddy, you know, what are we doing? You know, my daughter's like, and I don't want to do anything, but you realize like, dude, they're looking at you and you have to get your shit in order.
Yeah.
And so then it hurts to do that. But then when you stop killing yourself and, you know, poisoning yourself essentially, it's easier. It's like, yeah, let's go, girl.
But
You know
you
what I'm
want
saying?
to do it.
Let's do it. Yeah. Like I guess it's not that you always want to be there, you know, and you have to be there. It's not a want. You have to, especially when it comes to your family and things like that. But you also need to just take better care of yourself. You know, this is my main instrument, you know, is my voice. And then if I learned another instrument, which I picked up guitar a lot, and you know, I started more so acoustic and just writing acoustically and playing some acoustic shows and stuff. And through the years, I'm starting to realize, damn, I'm actually not that bad. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be up there flashy and, you know, you up there soloing and things. I'm not you know what I mean? But I'll be up there and I know chords. I know my way around the board and things. And it's just like, I can write my own music and I can sing other people's songs. And, you know, it's easier now because I do feel like I have more of a clearer mind because I've started to drink way less. I mean, way less than I was.
Yeah.
And this just happened like within the last like few months, right? I was like, dude, I need a break. Like, this is terrible. I injured myself 2 years. Actually, it's been a year and some change. It was a year in February. I tore my Achilles. Terrible injury, bro. And I was always one to be, you know, I was always active still, like being on stage and stuff. You're active, dancing around and making a fool of yourself.
Yeah, totally.
You know, but I would always, you know, I'm running around, I'm playing basketball and things, and I injured myself playing basketball, and like that was one of the traumatizing experiences I had that made me I almost wanted to give up on just everything for just a little bit there, you know. Like it was tough because it was just like you had to relearn how to walk. You know, and for me, it wasn't that serious. There's people that go through way worse shit, but it's just, I'm not going to be able to get on stage and, you know, do all these dance moves that I thought I did really well, but they really look shitty. You know, like some people liked them, you know. And I was just in my head about that. I started drinking more then. So this was a year ago. And when that happened, I was also trying to refrain from like taking like any meds for it and stuff like that because I didn't want to be drinking and take that too. And I think that's where it really started messing with me within that year. That I was just like, all right, bro, you know, I just broke down one time, just like sat in my room, it's dark. It's like, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Anything that's causing you stress right now, that's making you want to go drink or make you want to like just hit the fuck it button. I tell people all the time, I'm like, I'm gonna hit the fuck it button on this, you know. Chris Anderson makes fun of me all the time because I would tell him, he would say, there's a look that you give when you're about to hit the fuck it button. And he's like, I just know that you're about to go get drunk and then just fight through the gig. And I made a joke one time, it's just like recently. And this is like, I told him I had stopped drinking for like a week. And I walked up to him, I was like, bro, I'm about to hit this fucking button, bro. I'm going downstairs. And he was like, Aaron, no. It's the funniest shit. Because sometimes you do want to just go back to that. But I think it was more for me just realizing the things that were causing me stress and causing me unnecessary stress at that.
Mm-hmm.
That just like, it was the drinking for me. I think it was that for sure.
It's definitely something that is a source of anxiety. Because when you're waking up hungover and living life just totally dehydrated like that, you don't have the facility to deal with things as they come.
Right.
You know, so that creates like that kind of anxiety with everything. It's like everything's a big deal.
So much.
It's just like, and then you get to a point. I know I got to a point where I was like, you know, a similar kind of rock bottom. I didn't physically injure myself, but I was in, you know, a real bad headspace. And I remember just sitting there. I was like, if you don't stop, you're going to die.
Right.
And, or at the very least, like you have to recognize like where this pattern's going to take you. Like you're broke, you have like nothing right now. And if you keep this up, you will be dead or homeless, you know? And
for me, it was the opposite, because I felt like, you know, dude, we work so much, the money's going to be there if you work enough for it.
totally, yeah.
But for me, it was like, you have everything, right? You have the family, you know, you have a perfect job. Like, you're playing music for a living. That's fucking awesome, you know? But like, the amount of times that I used to drive home and being, you know, like, and not get pulled or not get in trouble or not get in a wreck or anything like that. And then I'm hearing all these other people that I know that are actually getting in wrecks and all this. And I'm just like, who the fuck is looking out for me like this? Because like this doesn't make sense, you know? But you can only do that so many times. And now that I am at this point where I'm not wanting to do it, I don't feel like I just jinxed myself or anything, because I'm not about to do that, you know?
Right.
So it's just, for me, I think a lot of it did come down to, and the reason why I'm so like back to where I first started when I was like 16, 17, like when I moved here with this just crazy motivation, like the motivation that I had and dedication that I had to make it as an artist, like, and do something with myself, and knowing that I had, you know, a voice, you know what I mean? Like, I'm back at that headspace, and I'm like, ooh, boy, you dangerous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
before, like, and not saying it in any cocky way or anything, because a lot of people think that you can have a lot of confidence in yourself, and I do. Like, I do. But I'm also, like, I'm not one to, you know, showboat and shit. Like, I know what I have. You know what I mean? I know I'm pretty good at it. But there's always room for correction.
Sure.
There's always room for growth.
And just knowing that you're capable of making that correction or growing,
Yeah.
that's like the confidence, I think, you know, versus like arrogance,
Mm-hmm.
which is like believing that you have it and there's like nobody that can do it better or whatever.
And ignorance.
Ignorance, exactly.
Because, dude, you can be the dopest musician, fucking mailman, basketball, I don't give a damn. But if you come into a place and that also you have to be around other people, and you just come in there every day like your shit doesn't stink, and you're also fucking up though, you know what I mean? Like, you can miss me with that shit, dude.
Yeah.
I can't stand people like that.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
It's just like that, it rubs me the wrong way. And it's just, for where I'm at right now, I think that's, we all have opinions and we all have, you know, ways of coping and things like that. And I think for me, like you said, you're just sitting in a room and realizing like you're able to make that decision for yourself. Like, you're able to put a stop to it, and dude, kudos to you. How long have you not been drinking for?
About 2.5 months now.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
it's all pretty new for me.
It's just, yeah, same. And it's just like, that's, for me, it was just instant, bro. And everyone was telling me, like, my buddy Rob Bidwell, he went for a little while. Chris is gone for
I heard,
a long
yeah,
time.
good for him.
Chris is a huge motivation for me on that, inspiration on that, because I see him every day and I've seen the changes. And that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to, because it's just like getting my body back in order. And then when you're trying to recover from an injury like that, you have to take care of yourself the best way you can, or you're not gonna come back the same at all.
Totally.
And for me, I feel like I'm almost stronger, like, because I put so much work down But you know, you're not gonna see me fucking dunking on any 8-foot fucking baskets even, or 6-foot people. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm not dunking at all. I'm not jumping that far.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's just being able to just put that work in and just stay driven. That helped me make that decision too. Like, I want to be the best that I can be for me and, you know, the people around me that are, you know, constantly wanting the best for me just the same. So
Totally, man.
it's the headspace I'm in right now, bro. I love it, dude.
That's awesome, man.
exciting.
There's just cool, and congratulations for you for making that change. I know that's hard, man.
Oh, I mean, you know, anything can happen, but it's just like right now I'm gonna stick with it. Yeah.
Hell yeah. There's this thing that I've been noticing also where it's like every day that I go without drinking, and I was doing other things too that were a real problem for me.
Yeah.
So it was like every day that I can get through without doing those things, I go to sleep with gratitude, and I wake up with gratitude, knowing that I accomplished at least, if nothing else, that. And then that little bit of gratitude is like the fuel that makes you want to go to the gym in the morning. And then that gratification makes you like want to come in here and get work done, pick up my guitar and practice or write, or, you know, think about ways to move this thing forward.
100%.
Like and all it means is all it is just me like going to bed knowing that I accomplished not getting fucked up today.
Right.
It's just the weirdest thing, man.
I don't know how people. I don't know how I did it. I really don't. It's just like,
I know how I did. I did a lot of fucking Adderall.
yeah, that too. That too. I mean, yeah, but it's just like when you're taking Adderall and you want to drink more and
Exactly,
more and more.
that's
It's
the
just
problem,
like that's,
yeah.
whew, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean,
I was also spending so much fucking money on it, man. It was like
Yeah.
and I was taking like, I mean, you know, a lot.
Yeah.
Like in one day, it was
yeah.
a real problem.
Oh, dude, I party, man. I partied my ass off back in the day, you know, and I have no shame in telling people that. It's just like what happened. It changed me drastically after my daughter was born.
Yeah.
And I mean,
imagine.
like it should for any man who's having a kid. They should be like really check themselves, and then, you know, just life hits you, and you know, struggling to pay bills and shit because you have to work twice as hard now and things like that. So, and then dealing with other motherfuckers that you necessarily don't have to deal with. You know, you're just choosing to because of whatever reason.
Exactly.
I mean, because you don't want to look like an asshole or whatever. And it took me, dude, I've been living here 12 years. My wife and I have been together 7, 8. Dude, it took me about 8 years for me to like realize that you can say no. Like, you can say no, bro. Like, just no more. Like, fuck this.
Literally.
Like, you're not helping me at all, and all I'm doing is trying to help you. Like, this has to be done. But then when you make that decision, then it's just like, oh, this is how it's gonna be. You're giving up, or you can look like that person too. It doesn't matter. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, if no one really knows what the hell is going on but you and this other person, or maybe a select few in the circle, I mean, that's where I've been at in the last few months, like that I've stopped like drinking as much and shit. Even just this past weekend when I was in Puerto Rico, I drank so much.
Yeah.
And then I was on the beach in like 99-degree weather in the shade. And like I got the weirdest like fucking chills at my back, just like I'm pretty sure it was like a mixture of sun poisoning and alcohol poisoning.
Oh, it's
And
the worst.
I felt like shit, dude. I mean, I haven't felt like that ever.
Are you still burnt on your back? You
My
must
back's
be
a little,
feeling it.
yeah, it's a little scarred up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'm like, bro, I'm black enough. Like I
Yeah.
I can't. I don't want to. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm peeling now. It's just like this is not good. Like,
Yeah.
But it was just being that fucked up, bro. I just remember thinking to myself while I'm like literally in the bed, like with chills. My wife's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Do we need to go to the hospital?" I'm like, "No, I can't breathe."
Oh my God, dude.
And yeah, it was that ugly. I woke up the next morning and I was like, "Man, fuck this." Like, alcohol is just like that. If you really overdo it, it can really fuck
Real
yourself
problem.
up,
Yeah, man.
And so, I think that was another reason why I wasn't putting out a lot of music that I wanted to, and I was always in my head about it, and and now like I hit the fuck it button about like just going through with it, and sticking through to stuff that I've always wanted to do for my whole life, and and if people don't really agree with the route or the path that I'm taking to do it, and then they're not the ones in these shoes, you know what I mean?
And they don't need to be in your circle either,
Yeah, that part.
And I'm stoked that you're going down that road, man, because I've seen Be Easy, a handful of times over the years.
Yeah.
And I've always thought you were a very charismatic front person. And then when I saw you at the Real Time party back in December, you got up and did a couple songs, and it was like like you set a new tone for the night where like, you were very much in control of the room. Obviously, you just felt so comfortable with the attention and demonstrating your talent. And I think it's all that to say that I'm excited about the endeavor you're taking on as an artist now, because although you've always been one, putting yourself out there as such is a different kind of thing, right?
It's totally different. Yeah.
But you're ready for it. It came off to me like you were very much ready for that, just in your demeanor and everything,
Well, thanks. Because that takes a lot out of someone who's a frontman or someone who has to sing a song in general in front of a bunch of people. I've been doing this for a little while now, so I've had a lot of practice.
Right.
And with Be Easy, me being the youngest of the group, there's a lot of egos, there's a lot of opinions on certain life matters, and a lot of stuff comes into play. And so I try my best, because it's almost like, because I'm the only one speaking. Solo sometimes does, but Solo will say some crazy shit sometimes. I'm like, bro, you gotta calm it down. Yeah. But it's funny though, and people gravitate because he means really well. It's just sometimes when he comes out, it's just out of nowhere. He's like, hot dog, girl, dude, drop that ass. Yeah. Something random, and I'm like, it's a wedding. We're in the middle of a father-daughter dance. Huh? Like, no, that's never happened. But little shit like that. It's just it's got to be in the moment. But Solo and I've always tried to balance, like, find the perfect balance of like, what I say and things to people who have never seen us before. When we go play weddings or we do these big festivals and stuff, I just tried my best to keep it short and sweet, and not really. I don't really have much of a story to tell because we're playing other people's music.
Right.
And so they get on to me sometimes because I talk too much and I do ramble a little bit. But my brain just works like that. So I'm excited to be able to tell stories about my own music, because there's a lot of fucked up shit. There's a lot of really funny things that have happened, but the music will explain it all, and this will finally explain what's been taking me so damn long. You know what I mean? Because it's been like 10 years. And I told Nico all the time, he's like, man, you gotta have everything in order. You gotta have all the pieces in order. I'm like, fuck the pieces. We're doing this shit. You know what I mean? And, I've always tried to carry this persona, suit and tie, and just, there's a grittiness to me, that like I've held within for a while. And, just making sure that people understand this about me is just, it's not all smiles and fucking, what do they say, rainbows and unicorns. It's just like for them to really deeply and truly understand why I've been doing this, because people ask me all the time, why aren't you out there? Why aren't you, you know what I mean? Why don't you have your album or anything like that? I'm like, if y'all ask me this one more damn time, you know, like there's something wrong with me, you know, like I have to explain myself or something. It's just, this is a process for every and any musician, you know, instrumentalist, anything, you know what I mean? You're really pouring your heart and your soul for people to potentially just shit all over.
Yeah, 100%, man.
You know? And so that's the scariest thing. You know, I have a couple friends of mine who are also artists and singers and things, and I talk to them about it occasionally. And one person in particular, she said, you know, it's just, sometimes you don't want people to know everything about you, you know? And that's the scary thing about it, because when you're writing these songs, when going back to like the Larcel thing, I was writing songs about like certain things that I've never really been a part of or whatever, and never really experienced or whatever, or thinking, you know, from a place of, you know, what that could be like or something like that. But it was just not what I wanted to talk about, something that I've actually gone through, you know? And if there's anything, a question that I have in life or whatever, you know, maybe discuss that too. But it's you're really pouring everything out there for people to, maybe they take it in, maybe they look at you a certain way, you maybe look at you different from before, good or bad. But that's where I've been at within these last like 10 years, and it's been a very interesting place to be in. But it's all about the circle you keep, you know what I mean? And the people that you have around you on a daily basis. You'll know when someone's not the right fit. And,
Totally.
and it's just, for me, I've been able to just, I can point that out. But in the past, I used to just try to work my way around it and just, or try to fit them in because they have, you know, maybe they are very talented or whatever, or maybe we can work together in some way, shape, or form. But if the bad outweighs the good in that situation, then why stress yourself out and keep trying to do it, you know?
Totally.
And so I've ran into many problems like that in the past with people very close to me, some people not that close to me, but, you know, even family, things like that. My wife used to tell me, up until just recently, after she heard all my stuff, the stuff that I just wrote, that I have written actually, I just never let her hear it. She would always hear all this other stuff that I would do with other artists and things, and she would just give me a look. She'd be like, you know, and she listens to that kind of style of music all the damn time, you know? So I'm thinking like, oh, this is what, you know, this is what's popular, this is what I should do. And she's just like, nah, you know? She'd be like, oh, you know, I like it, but I'm like, girl, if you don't shut the, you know, I know what the fuck you like and what you don't like at this point. And so I came back and I had this acoustic song that I wrote that I wanted to put on this River City show that we did. And like instantly, like you could see it in her face, like in her eyes, she was just like, where the fuck has this been, you know? And then I was like, well, what about this one? And I started playing all these other songs that I've written by myself, just on acoustic guitar, and I was just kind of just scared to do anything with. And instantly she was like, this is what you need to do, you know? And instantly I trusted her, you know, her word for it. Like, and then I played them for some other friends of mine who have never heard me do anything like that. They just think that I played Michael Jackson, fucking Rock With You all the time.
Right.
And they said the same. And so right then and there, I was just like, damn, man, what am I doing right now? Like, why am I taking forever on this? And then, you know, after the first like month, it was actually first 2 weeks of not drinking really helped me, because even going 2 weeks not drinking, when you're drinking literally every fucking day, like,
Makes a difference.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It opens your head. And, you know, a lot of people are probably going to hear this and be like, damn, you were drunk? Probably. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guess I did a pretty decent job of not letting people know. But at the same time, man, it's just you can't live like that forever.
No,
You're
totally.
just gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah.
And you know, you realize certain things are good, certain things are bad, and then you move on. That's it.
Well, I'm stoked to hear the music, man, because I know it seems like you're coming from a clear-headed place, and it seems like the willingness to be vulnerable and authentic is like working. Like people have heard it and they've enjoyed it. So I'm excited to hear what you're gonna put out. Yeah, man. And then last time we spoke, you had mentioned about wanting to get into managing and taking on more work like that with Real Time. Is that still something that you're thinking about
So
doing?
I always tell Nico, it's like, man, if this doesn't work out, man, just leave me a spot open, a desk or something open, because I really do feel I could help, with some artist management kind of thing. The stuff that Chris does for us is stuff that I could do for other bands for sure.
Yeah.
Except Chris goes above and beyond. It's like setting up shows and stuff like that for me too. But just the everyday, back and forth and trying to come up with a plan and things like that. I could do that for another person, but I need to have my shit in order first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It helps to like go through the process yourself and then like see these ideas implemented and see how they play out before you go and try and do it for other people.
Yeah, because I didn't go to school for it. I intended to, but I did all my college here. I moved to Jacksonville when I was 17, 18, from Carbondale, Illinois. Go Dogs, Salukis.
Where's that at in relation
So
to
that's
Chicago?
like southern Illinois.
Okay.
It's about 5-6 hours, maybe a little longer from Chicago. So closest city to me was St. Louis.
Okay.
So that St. Louis was more my city.
I love St. Louis. You were like right by Springfield and all that then too, yeah?
Well, Springfield was kind of a little far too. I guess it was like a few hours away from where I was. I was like down south tip of Illinois,
Okay.
like Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky borderline.
Okay, got you.
So I kind of grew up in the boonies, man. Small town kid. I guess Carbondale was the biggest town around where I was born and raised, but I came up from there, moved to Jacksonville when I was 18. It was my cousin Justin Macklin. Shout out to my boy. I don't even know. I should have mentioned his name way earlier. We moved here together with an ex-manager of ours at the time. Met up with. Actually, we played our first show in Atlantic Beach. Just acoustic guitar, me singing. What's that CeeLo Green song?
Forget you,
Yeah.
fuck you, whatever.
Yeah, that one. We played that shit on repeat for fucking like 2 hours.
No shit.
But played our first show there, and then we got our actual first show at it was it's like Table One. It's not even Table One anymore. It's like it used to be Urban Flats, I believe, off of A1A. It's like Ponte Vedra area. So we met Darren Escar shortly after that. Darren Escar got us in touch with Will Montgomery. Then from there, just built up this big band. And dude, those 6 years or whatever of just gigging at bars, some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life go down. It was probably some of the most fun times I've ever had. But it really made you realize like the ins and outs of how the game works, as a musician, how you should really, you never should undersell yourself. Like you should never, like, cause we did that. We would basically tell these people, oh, we'll play for nothing and get all these people here, and then we'll try to renegotiate or whatever.
It doesn't
That shit
work.
Don't happen like that.
Nope.
We were playing at fucking Lynch's for ever, bro, on a Monday night, and had that place crazy packed. Comes down to renegotiating, and we're just like, yeah, we'll see. I don't think I should say what was really said on that. We'll talk to you about that later.
Yeah.
There were some things said that I was just like, what? All right, so that's what it's gonna be. But for me being, artist, musician, whatever, and then taking that transition into some sort of management thing for another artist, I feel like I would make that artist first off feel way more comfortable about just knowing that I know what this shit's like.
Totally.
You know what I mean? As opposed to just dealing with some guy who works in an office and says that he's in artist management, like works for a label or whatever, A&R or whatever. And because you get a lot of those kind of people too that may go to concerts and things like that, but they don't really live the daily lives.
Of course. Haven't gone through the process of putting music out or touring or like anything.
Setting up shows, getting the shows, and finding out the gig's canceled and you're not getting paid for it.
Right.
You know, or finding out you're not getting paid as much as what you were told to get paid in the contracts and all that stuff. And
yeah, totally.
You know, sometimes there aren't contracts and shit. It's just word, you know.
Yeah, it's something I'm getting less and less comfortable with as days go on.
It's a bunch of stuff, man. I just realized that you have to be grateful and appreciative to the people who see you for what you are and the potential that you have, right? And being able to set someone straight. I have friends all the time, like in my circle right now, that will be like, bro, you fucking up, you know? And when they say that, you don't get mad at it. You just say, all right, yeah, I'm fucking up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's do this. Like, what do I got to do? You know what I mean? Be curious, not judgmental, right? So that's been sticking with me for like since I heard it. I don't even remember how long ago that was. But if you have an interest in something and you are concerned or you are curious of how it works, then you should just, you know, or how it will work or whatever, you should ask questions and learn how to figure it out, as opposed to, you know, being like judgmental and acting like, you know, whoever is out to get you or whatever, and, you know, they know things that you don't or whatever. And I'm very happy that for one, the people that I have that are helping me, that have helped me with Be Easy, you know, up until now, especially the business side of things, like Nico and all those boys, Nico and Chris in particular, you know, they were learning at the same time too. So that was really good for me to know that they haven't been doing this much longer than me. So we're basically learning in this game together, and we're gonna figure out how to, you know, make it work for us, you know, and be successful. And I always tell them, you know, let me know when you get a open desk, bro, because I'll definitely, and he knows I can help him out a little bit.
I'm sure at this point, yeah, man. Well, you know, I mean, it's cool because, I mean, I know how things can go on the inside and making the outside look good, but I can say from the outside, from our angle, it looks like you guys are all crushing it. Real Time, Be Easy, Honey Hounds, and everybody that's working under that.
I don't never get to see them. Those boys are always moving, man.
Yeah, I know, right? It looks like the whole, you know, the brand, the business, the enterprise, all of it it's looking really good, man. I'm stoked for all you guys.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, we're moving. It's just, you know, Be Easy's we've been steadily keeping up with the times, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
But we've realized, like, that corporate game, being in that scene it's not a bad place to be in, you know. Totally. And so we're not really focused as much, you know, trying to put out any albums or anything like that. I know Solo was here and he was talking about the solo project that he's got going on right now.
The reggae project.
And you know, he's been doing that for a little bit. And it's a process, you know. It takes, if you're just doing it by yourself for your own project, it's long as fuck.
Yeah,
have to do.
Totally.
Imagine having to do that with like 9 other guys, and you're just like timing and all that, trying to get everybody together. I don't know how long, you know, that would last, but we all kind of just agreed that that's what this is. Like, let's just, you know, we'll keep playing, we'll keep doing this, and then you know, side projects and things like that come in and out. Those are fun things to be a part of. I just know that now is the time for me to finally put my foot down on and just stick through with the original stuff that I'm coming up with. So
Hell yeah, man! I'm stoked you came to that, and I'm excited to hear what you got coming out, man.
It took some time, dude.
It always does, bro. It always does.
Yes, it did.
You guys want to hit some unpopular opinions?
Let's do it.
What you got, Chris?
All right. The famous Prince solo where he plays My Guitar Gently Weeps
Don't you dare.
is not that great.
You're tripping, bro.
It is not that great. I saw it again because it pops up on my feed every week or two.
Yeah.
Like it'll just kind of float through. And I've heard that solo 15 or 20 times at this point, and every single time I hear it, I'm less and less impressed by it. Especially like the part, like, sure, he's got some great pentatonic ideas. It's really cool. But people like that solo because they think of him as a singer, and they're like, look, he's an instrumentalist. It's dope that he's an instrumentalist. It's great. But like taking who the person is outside of it, it's just a pentatonic guitar solo. Like, good work, Prince. Solid.
All right. What a fucking snobby music school answer. Dissection of that solo.
Oh,
but all right.
that's
But
a
I think-
dissection. That's a fucking little paper cut.
I would
bitch.
say, like, I think that, I mean, because he is a singer, a lot of people look at him like, oh my God, he just grabbed a bass. And there are a couple songs that I've heard like on YouTube and shit, like a couple videos, and I'm like, all right, Prince, maybe you were doing too much that day. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I like that solo. I mean, I like that one.
I loved it when I first heard it.
Chris is trying to get a fucking viral video out of this one,
Right,
bro.
here we
Same
go.
shit that happened with the Dwayne Allman solo.
shit.
I feel it. That's just how it is.
I'm gonna go back and listen to it. You know what? Because I can't say that I've heard it. I think last time I heard it was like maybe a year or so ago, and I wasn't really paying that much attention. I got to go back and listen to it again. But
don't listen to it with like joy and wonder. Listen to it with like, all right, let's look at this guy's a peer now. Let's see how he's playing. Like, and when he's going out and peaking, he's literally fretting out. Like, come on, man.
all right,
It's cool. Like, I'm talking just technique and choice. Like he can play. Like I'm cool with it. He's a player.
Well,
He
that's
should be
fair.
known as that. Just that solo, everyone's like, this is the thing everyone should look at when they look at him as an instrumentalist.
I feel you.
He's got cooler shit as an instrumentalist. Like that solo, I'm not knocking him. It's just that clip went viral, and like there's cooler shit out there. Like that shouldn't be the pedestal mark of like Prince as an instrumentalist.
Yeah.
He's got other shit. He plays bass. He's a killing bass player.
He's also his comping chops on funk music as a guitar player is
saying.
amazing.
And he just walked out and just kind of ripped it, and it was cool, but there's not like a lot of substance to it. It's good. It's good, but I just think it's overrated.
Okay.
Okay, fair.
Sorry, boys.
Well, I do want to ask you this though, because I just had someone talk to me about this and ask me this question, and I couldn't answer it honestly. Prince or Rick James?
That's a
That's a tough one. For me, Prince, but like,
But because I mean, Rick
that's
James
tough.
got down on some guitar too. You know what I mean?
I'm not
Yeah.
familiar enough with his body of work to
Really?
to say one way or the other. Prince, I know I love like especially early Prince, but Rick James, I don't know enough of.
I mean, he was the trendsetter.
yeah.
You
I
know,
mean,
but Prince came in and was just like, "Hey, watch this."
when did Rick James like really like kind of blow up?
Oh,
What was his first breakout album? 'Cause I know Prince was 78, I think.
Rick James was before then for sure. Because wasn't there like this big showcase or something like that Rick James had Prince come, or was that James Brown? I think it was James Brown. Might have that different, but I think Rick James and Prince had like this battle
I could definitely see
for a
that.
little bit there.
early 70s, like mid 70s, like 74, 75.
Okay, so he did kind of have his thing. He did have his name established
Slightly
before
before.
Prince. Okay.
But
Yeah.
when was Prince's first Grammy? Because
know.
Rick James's was 82, so I feel like he probably had some influence, and then Prince
Yeah.
kind of flew up, and then Rick popped up like a little bit later.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
But I will say that I've only heard like the famous stuff from Rick James, and I've not like dove into his records. I can't. Early Prince, I've like gone down the rabbit hole on, and man, I fucking love those first couple of Prince records. I will say.
Yeah, no, my dad was a huge Prince fan, so he had a bunch of Prince records playing all the time. I'm not too familiar with much of Rick James stuff either. I mean, because I'm in a band with like Solo, he knows a lot, and so I've heard a lot of them. But man,
They both dropped their debut album the same year in '78.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
For You and Come and Get It was both.
and
in-
For You was that jam.
yeah.
that was such an underrated Prince record, man. It's like,
First one's got to be.
yeah. People talk about like,
It's got to be the one.
bro. I mean, people talk about all the shit in the mid '80s and stuff. I'm like, listen to For You. That opening acapella song that like just is like layered harmonies and how high. And I'm just like, oh my god. And then like the Stevie Wonder like arrangements that are happening and all the hits and like the music was more interesting to me. Then it got to be like 1999 and like all the shit, which is fine, okay, or like Kiss. It's like, okay, this is fine, but it's literally just a vamp the whole time.
Yeah.
I can't. Right?
That's real.
Yeah.
What's
Same
your
way.
unpopular opinion, Aaron? That's a good
Man.
one, Chris. Good one.
I had a couple, but the one that sticks to me because I guess just because you said Prince and Purple.
Yeah.
This is random. This is random. I just thought Purple. I was listening. Okay, my unpopular opinion is I don't think that they should play Peanut Butter Jelly Time like in schools anymore.
Okay, why?
Because I just heard the most random shit on what the actual song is about.
What's it about?
And apparently it's about anal. Yeah. And so I was just like, no bullshit. I'm at home one day and, you know, kids are all on Alexa and shit. And it's like, play Peanut Butter Jelly Time. And we're singing the song and singing it, whatever. Like, not an hour after that, like, I'm scrolling through something and they're talking about, like, in the comments about what the actual song is, the Peanut Butter Jelly Time. And it's just, or like what it's about. And I'm like, what is it about at this point? You know what I mean? Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. What does that even mean? It's just catchy, right? It's like that Step Brothers scene. It's like, it's provocative. It gets the people going. Like, okay, but what it's about? What is it about for real? You know? And then I'm seeing more and more about that being what it's about, and I'm just like, yeah, dog, come on now. That's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Like, I've been singing this for so long, and like all my like
With your
kids are
and
singing this
everything.
shit. Like, is this what it's about? 'Cause he needs to come forth and talk about what was the reason behind writing this song.
Could you imagine how much income they would lose if they stopped playing it in schools?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because like I was just, my daughter says, "Oh, they played that song," and I'm not gonna tell her what the damn song's about or anything. It's just like, that's nice. That's nice. I'm writing the school a note.
Yeah.
Like, is there a reason why you're playing these songs at lunchtime or like whatever? Like, it's just, I don't know. That's something I'm trying to figure out for myself, I guess.
So here's not, I don't even want to call it pushback because I don't have any skin in the game. I don't have any kids. So like, but that being said, if the kids don't know what it's about, does it
True.
make a difference? Especially if there's nothing explicitly stating.
There are so many songs like that are like, you know, but it's just like, that one's like the most catchy one.
It is very catchy.
And it's just like that. It's such a good song, even if it's what it's about. Like,
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's just like, maybe not at schools anymore. I don't know.
And I can say I've never heard that before.
Really?
I'm in my 30s, and I would have never guessed that that's what that song was
Dude,
about.
maybe it's just the weird people that are on my
Are you on the
Instagram and Facebook
No,
pages.
the internet's pretty much confirming that.
Is
pretty
it?
Oh,
hardcore.
really?
Like,
See?
every link here is like, yeah, it's anal, of course.
anal.
and I'm just like, this isn't just like on Urban Dictionary.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Peanut butter jelly time.
That's the first link.
This is what it
but
is.
Yeah, it's the rest of them are backing it up.
See, dude, and I don't even like look this up. I
One
just,
Google peanut
it's
butter
like
jelly time
one
meaning.
comment thread, and you're reading all this stuff that people are saying about the song, and I'm like, who the fuck?
Fun
How
fact:
do you know this?
Yeah.
the genre on here is booty house.
Booty house genre. Okay.
Peanut Butter Jelly Time is a Booty House song produced
What?
by DJ Chipman.
Okay, what else falls under the booty house genre?
That's a fantastic question.
What the fuck does that style of music mean? What does it?
Booty house. I mean, that's house music.
Oh, it's
You know
like
what
a
I'm saying?
version of house music.
I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a whole 40-minute playlist on YouTube I'll send you called Booty House Anthems.
Fucking let's put it. Let's put it.
Send
up.
me the playlist, too.
description. Put the description in the link for these guys.
Link in the bio.
Link. Yeah.
It's also known as Ghetto House.
Ghetto house.
There's a whole Wikipedia page. Let's ask
Booty
all-
house sounds about right.
We
though.
got any artists that we can just start rattling off real quick?
DJ Dion, Jam and Gerald, DJ Funk, DJ Milton, DJ Sluggo, Waxmaster, Traxman, Paris Mitchell. Those are the ones-
Waxmaster.
Those are the guys that come to mind.
That's
apparently,
interesting.
Okay, got it.
there you go. The more you know, kids.
Yeah, dude, that's funny.
Well, Booty House. We're gonna start. Put that playlist on later tonight. It'll be fun.
Right.
That's a good one, bro.
Let me go ahead and down that now for my old lady. No, I'm just,
Hint, hint.
shit.
All right, so my unpopular opinion this week is something that bothers me. I want to preface this because I'm not casting judgment on people who do it. I get that we're not all musicians, okay? But when I tell people that I'm a musician and they say, "Oh, that's awesome. I love music." I'm like, "Yeah, do you like food also? Do you like
Yeah.
do you like
See, that would
sleep?"
throw me off. I have a hard time like keeping a straight face when people say stuff like that. Like it's the same. Yeah. That would throw me off.
It's just like and I get that they're trying to relate to you on some level. And
I love music.
Yeah, it's like
That's they can't now anymore. You know what I mean? Like they just I love like do you? Okay.
it's like, do you like air also?
Right.
Is air like a thing that you like? Or it's just it's such a general thing to say, and I don't know what to how to say. Oh, I'm glad you like music.
Yeah. It's I get that on a different spectrum. Like when I tell people where I'm from, when I say I'm from Illinois, they go, "Oh, I love Chicago," and
Yeah.
I'm like, "That's not where I'm from."
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
I'm glad you love Chicago.
that's like the old. Yeah, it's like saying that you're from New York and like, oh, I love Manhattan or Brooklyn. It's like I'm from upstate. So-
right. Yeah. I mean, there's so many other places.
Yeah.
In Illinois, but yeah, like music though, that's just like they probably don't listen to music.
That's what I'm
at all.
saying.
Yeah.
That's the thing that people say when their depth of knowledge is what's on the radio.
Zero.
You know?
they know nothing.
And
it's-
but
it-
those people probably don't listen to music at all. They like just sit on their freaking porch with a just I don't know,
Yeah.
like a book
They
and
listen to podcasts.
Or in
What
podcasts.
suckers.
Yeah, I mean, my mom's in that category. Bless her heart. Like she only turns on the radio. She couldn't tell you one artist. I'm like, who's some of your favorite music? She goes, I don't know. What kind of answer is I don't know? To who's your favorite musician?
Look,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Okay, I need to preface this by saying I'm not judging people who say that. Okay,
Yeah,
if if music is not something that like you're super into, I don't expect anyone else to be as into it as I am. That would be fucking crazy,
Right.
right? That being said, do you like? Is there like an artist that maybe you want to like spout out, or maybe like there's a genre like,
Right.
oh, like I love. What kind of music do you play? Oh, I love like rock and roll, or I love like blues or something.
Right.
But like, to say that you just love me, I don't know where to go with that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool.
the conversation is over with.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason for you to have to go into, any search
Yeah, exactly.
for them to just base. Like if they were to just say, oh, I used to play the flute or something. Oh, nice.
Yeah, we can
So
we can go
with
somewhere
that.
with
At
that.
least
Yeah.
something. Yeah. The only answer is thank God when someone says you like music. Good.
Yeah.
Christ, you got a pulse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
good.
I've also met people who tell me that they don't like music. Or no, okay,
That leads to a better conversation. though.
it sure does.
I have some family members that are older, but they don't listen. They don't want noise. They just like silence.
I get that too. I'm a big ride home after a gig in silence kind of guy.
Same.
But here I did have someone. It was like the most backhanded compliment I've ever gotten after a gig, and we had played like that Oyster Fest thing. What was that? It used to be back like
Oh, I know
years ago.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We played it, and it wasn't a good show. We kind of like train wrecked it, to be honest.
Is
But
that the one like in Fernandina or something like that?
No, it was near the stadium. I remember that show.
yeah, it was
Oh.
like, oh yeah, you were there.
I saw that one.
Yeah, we didn't do very well.
It was great.
And this lady comes up to me and she was like, "Yeah, I'm not really like a fan of music, but I really liked you guys." All right, so you don't like music, but you like what we did. So I guess,
No, she's looking at you in a different way.
yeah, totally.
She's just like, I like you.
No, okay.
And I want you. Yeah.
The way that I took it was like you have the way that I took it is like you have zero standard. You don't like music at all, but you liked what we did, which
Right.
means it must have been so like not music that you actually liked it. You know what I mean?
You know, sometimes you just have to look at people that say things like that and just be like, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, totally.
I'm really happy that you came here.
So, yeah, if you don't like music, you came to a music festival. I'm really
Yeah,
glad you're
really.
here. Thanks.
Yeah, that's interesting to me.
But Aaron, man, thank you so much for being here, man. This has been a great conversation.
Yeah, man.
It's
I
been
feel like
fun.
it got really deep there for a second, and you started talking about some really, shit that people don't like talking about.
Yeah, it was lately. It's
me.
been going down that route here. I think it's also kind of like this, just a headspace that I've been in. So naturally, the conversation goes there.
Gravitates.
I appreciate you being willing to go there, though. Sometimes
problem.
when people aren't, they try and like give short answers and change it, and it kind of
Yeah.
makes it hard. But I thank you for indulging the conversation.
Yeah, man.
It's a pleasure to have you. I'm stoked for everything you got going on. I'm gonna keep up. Make sure you guys keep up too. Where can they find the music when it drops?
You know what, man? Just look at my Instagram for right now, and I'll give you all that information when I get there. But
Yeah.
right now, we're on the Instagram is I am Aaron Thomas _P. I think we'll look that up later.
Link in bio.
Yeah,
Link in bio.
We'll
Yeah.
have all the links in the description, anyways.
But yeah, this is definitely something totally different from Be Easy. But people who look at Be Easy will be posting some of this stuff too. So that if they want to look on the band page, the bandbeeasy.com as well. So, but yeah, it'll be up in due time for sure. A lot sooner than later. That's for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.